I think there's just so much to do here. Don't go to places that are dangerous. If it looks sketchy, if you don't feel good, don't go there. No, you're gonna get the benefits in this month and you're gonna get dividends.
Which countries were the easiest to travel in and which ones were the hardest?
What's the hardest?
What do you honestly think of Japan? Give us the truth. Asia is wild, diverse, and totally addictive, but not all countries hit the same. I'm Jack, an Aussie expat living in Malaysia, and in this video, I've sit down with David, a Czech digital nomad who's recently solo traveled through Japan, Korea, and now Malaysia. He's also been to a lot of Asian countries, so I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Welcome to the channel.
My pleasure, man.
We're breaking down the best and worst places to travel and live in Asia, from the culture shocks, the lows, and the highs, and where Westerners can live a better, more affordable, and more free lifestyle. If you're planning to explore or live in Asia, this is the talk you need. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
David, which countries in Asia have you been to so far?
Japan, Korea, here, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia, Pakistan.
Was that your biggest culture shock there, I think? That's a different one. Not many people have been to Pakistan.
That's right. It's definitely off the beaten path. I was lucky enough to have a friend there. It was the biggest. In 2 weeks, my life changed tremendously, but I loved it.
Fascinating. Definitely gives you a different perspective and a different side of Asia that most people didn't get to see. Do you have any special highlights or favorite cities so far around Asia?
There are many. I mean, right now we're in Kuala Lumpur. That's one of my favorite cities, I have to say. I also really like Bangkok. Okay. It was crazy to visit. I probably would not want to live there. There's so many. Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, amazing cities.
Amazing culture, amazing cities. Awesome. So you've got a really diverse perspective here. You've seen more of Asia than I have, and you've solo traveled it as well, a lot of it. So that's a different experience too. So very inspiring to talk to you. Let's get into the deeper questions.
Let's do it.
You're from Europe, Czech Republic, small country. Asia, before you've been there, did you know much about it? What did you think of Asia before you came to this amazing continent?
I knew the food and I knew a little bit of the philosophy. When I was younger, I met a guy, a mentor to me, so he introduced me to the Eastern philosophy. So I was always really curious about Asia, and I knew that I want to visit, and I love Asian people.
Great. So now that you've been to these different places, you've been around Asia, now what do you think? Did it live up to the hype or what you thought? I mean, a lot of media comes from Asia. I mean, K-pop, anime, all this stuff from Japan, Korea. Some people get disappointed with the reality. What do you think, honestly, of Asia?
Loaded question. So many different parts of Asia, so much to it. I think it's my favorite continent, I would say. Definitely to travel to. I mean, I love Europe as well, but something about Asia that makes me feel good. I can't really explain exactly what it is.
I know what you mean.
The food, the people, the philosophy. It has interesting history. People are just super nice. There's a lot of things to travel to, a lot of places to travel to. The nature is amazing. I think there's just so much to do here.
Yeah, it's different, it's exotic, you can learn a lot. Obviously, I think it develops you a lot as a person. I mean, there's going to be language barriers and challenges as well. And then once you get through it, you realize, wow, how cool was it to have that experience, to learn and develop, meet new cultures, meet new people. Yeah, because I think a lot of the Western world is very similar. I mean, I'm from Australia. If I went to the US where you've spent time, or I went to Europe, a lot of it would be quite similar. I think maybe Czech Republic would be different for me. I'd learn something from that. But I definitely think you get a totally different view of the world, family values, different food. It's just totally different. And then when you're going off the beaten track as well, not just to the main tourist cities, you're getting another side of Asia. So would you say traveling Asia has been worth your time so far? Absolutely, right?
100% worth my time, worth my money. I've learned so much. I've met so many incredible people.
Yeah, lovely to hear that, David. So the last few months, your recent travels have been to Japan, Korea, and now Malaysia. So first I want to start with Japan, because this is a really popular tourist country. I've heard mixed opinions, and you have some spicy takes on Japan. So you solo traveled for how long?
On and off for 3 years, over 3 years.
Okay, and in Japan, how long did you spend?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. So you've got a really good perspective on this. You did it solo. You've gone to a lot of different cities. So tell us, what do you honestly think of Japan? Overrated, underrated? Give us the truth.
Me personally, my experience, I think Japan is overrated. I will say that it was the worst country that I've visited so far. I've felt the worst, which I know is a strong, big thing to say. But yes, I didn't feel so great when I was there.
Okay.
I think the big reason was the culture. That it's really hard to get into the culture, talk to people. Also a problem with the language. But I tried 5 weeks. I tried extremely hard to talk to people. I went to the touristy places, but also the non-touristy places. And I did not have a longer conversation than 30 minutes with a local, which I think is shocking. On the other hand, beautiful nature, amazing food, and people are super kind, which I really appreciate. But for me, when I go to a place, I want to talk to people. I want to interact with people. I want to learn. And that was not the case in Japan. So I was disappointed.
That's super interesting. Thanks for being honest. And it's interesting for people who are like us or younger or young guys that want to have the same experience, be social, meet new people, meet new girls maybe. You had a harder time in Japan versus a lot of other countries. And that's particularly interesting because you went to Korea afterwards, which many people would think would be very similar culturally. You would have had the same experience. I mean, they're both beautiful countries in so many ways. I love Korean food. I love Japanese food. Korea is probably my favorite food in the world. I've been to Korea. I haven't been to Japan, but it's interesting to get your insights on the difference. So I think you had a different experience in Korea, right?
I also thought that the countries are pretty much the same. Sorry, but then I visited and they're completely different.
Okay.
And yes, I loved Korea.
Okay.
It's one of the best countries that I've been to. Yes, the food is amazing. People are amazing, and the culture. Not saying that people in Japan are not amazing, but I was able to really connect with the culture.
Right.
in
It
Korea.
connected more with you. You vibed more with that energy. And as we've talked about in other videos, it's different for each person. So you need
That's
to
right.
try it for yourself. You might absolutely love it. I know people absolutely love Japan, but it's really interesting to get David's perspective. He's been to all these different places. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. So after Korea, you then came to Malaysia, which is then quite different because now we're in Southeast Asia, again, a different culture. So what do you think the main differences are between like Northeast Asia and Southeast Asia?
I think both Japan and Korea are highly developed countries.
Okay.
There's figure things out, find things out everywhere.
Yep.
Here in Malaysia, it's not as developed as Japan and Korea, which I don't mind. It's just observation. The cost of living, big difference.
Big one.
Japan, Korea, Malaysia, big difference there.
Yep.
Food is great everywhere. The people are different.
Yep.
People in Japan, my own experience, very reserved. In Korea, good energy, but some people a little bit reserved. And here, I feel like people are really open, wanting to talk.
Yep.
So I feel there's quite a big difference when I compare Southeast Asia to other Asian countries.
And a big difference, particularly with Malaysia, is speaking English. I mean, so pretty much here, everyone's going to be speaking English, so you're going to just have an easier time socializing. They're going to be more confident speaking to you, and maybe there's a different vibe about them wanting to show you their country and their culture, a mix of cultures as well. You get a bit more diversity, whereas Japan and Korea are very homogenous, right?
100%, yeah, very homogeneous countries. You really feel that you're different there.
Okay.
I felt like I'm visiting, but that I don't belong there.
Right.
Which is different, for example, here.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, I feel like I do belong here in a way. So that's different, makes you feel different. But yes, as you mentioned before, it's always a subjective experience, always about the people that you meet, either the locals or fellow travelers. So I think, yeah, it just depends on who you meet and what your experience is.
And you never know who you meet. So you put yourself out, you go to these different places and you might meet someone that takes you on a whole different path. I mean, you did a road trip in Korea that you wouldn't have done otherwise if you didn't meet a particular person, and you had a great time, and I'm sure you'd go back to Korea because of that, right?
That's right, yes. I think meeting people makes your experience different. I was super lucky. Thanks to Ayong, best time in Korea.
What's your ultimate best experience in Asia so far? I'm sure you've had a lot, but if you had to pick one or two, what would it be?
I'm gonna pick the recent one from Korea. Maybe it's because of the recency bias, but meeting a friend through couchsurfing, going on a road trip with her, and just having the best time. So yes, I would say Korea, meeting a lovely person there and having a great time there.
Beautiful. So if you're single, you're struggling, you want to meet someone, you go to Korea, go to Asia, go to a completely different place, talk to people, meet someone, you might meet the love of your life. You never know, but you're gonna have a great time. Okay, what about your worst experience in Asia? What do you reckon that was?
I say shockingly, there haven't been many bad experiences. Sometimes the weather, I was here 2 years ago, it was 45 degrees Celsius, high humidity, which is really, really hard. So you have to really just get used to it.
Pakistan, right?
In Pakistan, even in Southeast Asia, in Cambodia, over 40 degrees.
Wow.
So that was really, really tough. There were some strange people that there was one in Pakistan. When I got there, I went to a restaurant and it just felt super strange. Some people trying to get something from me.
Okay.
But then I just went to a different place. It was fine.
Sure.
But really, I haven't had many bad experiences.
Good. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, you've got we've both got interesting experiences and stories. Yeah, we talk about safety in my videos, and I've never had an issue until recently. I got scammed in Shanghai. Lucky I didn't actually lose any money. I wasn't hurt. But that was a bit shocking. That's the first time in Shanghai, of all places, a global city, to be scammed. So overall, I think that it's overhyped, or you just hear the bad stories about people being silly or being stupid. But if you got your head about you and you know what you're doing and you're bringing positive energy to being nice to people, and obviously you've got your wits about you, you're probably not going to have any problems here. You're probably just as likely to have problems in your home country as well, right?
That's right, yeah, using your common sense. Don't go to places that are dangerous. Do some research before you go to a place. if it looks sketchy, if you don't feel good, don't go there. Just listen to yourself, listen to others, and should be fine.
Yeah, but don't let that stop you on your adventures. I mean, it's an adventure because it's different, it's new. I mean, there are some risks involved, but I mean, that's why you get the payoff.
Definitely not a reason not to travel. Definitely not.
Not a reason. Very important topic, cost of living. So people think of Asia as being cheaper, but that's not necessarily the case. So which countries were the most expensive and which were the most affordable, and perhaps which ones do you think were the best value?
Right, depends where you go. Japan, the most expensive. I think by far for me wasn't worth the money. Korea, I think is significantly more affordable than Japan, but also significantly more expensive than Southeast Asia. I think there's a big difference. So Southeast Asia, you get so much value for your buck. All the countries here, I mean, whether it's Indonesia, Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, some differences there. Maybe now when you go to Bali, not as cheap, but a lot of cheap countries. So yeah, it varies, but in general, countries in Asia are very affordable. The same with Pakistan. I'm planning to go to Central Asia. That's the same case.
Right, but it doesn't have to be either. If you want the premium stuff, you want luxury living, you can also find that here. So don't think of it as just because something's cheap, it's bad. You've got a range. You can choose how you want to live your life, whereas in Western countries, you can't really choose. I mean, there's a pretty high floor minimum and that's it. So that's the beauty, I think, of Asia. And you know, if you're here, because it's such a central location, you can fly from KL to Japan, China, Korea
it's great location.
in just a few hours. Whereas in Australia, I found it much more difficult to travel. So that's an interesting thing about basing here. You've got a lot of countries with a lot of diversity in one region.
Yes, having the options. I mean, I can stay in a hostel for $5. I can go to a hotel for 20, 100, 200. So if I feel like doing this, I can do that. Which, as you said, in the West is much harder more difficult.
Do. Awesome. Let's talk about personal development. So you've inspired me because you've gone deeper than just surface level travel, just going to the tourist spots. So how has traveling Asia, living in Asia, developed you as a person, spiritually, emotionally? How's your development?
I say massively. I mean, it has changed my life completely in many different ways, and I think only positively. I learned about different cultures, which I think is the main thing, just talking to hundreds of people, asking about their journey, what they're going through, their struggles, seeing how different cultures, different people live, what is important for them, the values. Like sometimes you have family is a high value, sometimes it's money. So seeing that, seeing how people how happy they are. Nature, I love the nature. Nature speaks to me. Just really have great insights and feel great when I spend time in the nature. And just the fact that I'm in a different place, I don't speak the language, I look very different, I'm tall, and I have to take care of myself. I have to find a place to stay, I have to get food, I have to meet people. If I feel lonely, I have to figure things out. And I've learned that, and I feel like it taught me to thrive in these scenarios. So my comfort zone expanded, which I think is great because then I can do things and it doesn't feel so hard, and it translates to other parts of your life.
That's right, particularly doing things solo. I mean, I've found this in Australia, people struggle to have a meal by themselves. They don't feel comfortable eating by themselves, which is crazy. I mean, it's something I had in my mind as well, but to actually go to a completely different country, you don't speak the language, by yourself and figure all this out, I mean, that's an amazing skill for life and in general, because if you want to do something, you can just do it without relying on external people or other people having to do it with you. So that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that.
That's right. I really respect all the fellow travelers. I really think it's a great thing that you're doing. It's going to come back the investment, and enjoy it. To the people that haven't been doing it, try to do it. It's going to change your life in a really good way.
Awesome. Some people might think, hearing that traveling in Asia is complicated. So which countries were the easiest to travel in and which ones were the hardest?
Pakistan was the hardest. I do not recommend going solo to Pakistan without knowing anyone. I had a friend there. Everything was super easy for me, but because I knew someone, I think Southeast Asia is the best place to start solo traveling. It is so easy. I love it. The transportation, the accommodation, there's apps, there's food everywhere. I love it. Even Japan, Korea, pretty smooth. I think they're a little bit more challenging than Southeast Asia, but yeah, pretty smooth.
So that's great. So look at it, don't use it as an excuse not to go. And then if you do have challenges, that's part of the journey and the development. Once you figure out, you know how to do it again, and then problem solve. From a digital nomad perspective, a lot of you would be watching this. What are the important things to balance when you choose a place to live or stay? I mean, what tips do you have about Asia as a hub for digital nomads particularly?
There are many, and I think it depends on each person individually. Somebody wants good weather, or not too hot, not too cold. Somebody wants good accommodation, good food, access to nature. Somebody loves beach, somebody loves the city. So I think first you need to think about what you want to do, where you want to live, how you want to live, and then you make it happen. The good thing about Southeast Asia and Asia in general is that it is affordable. You can make it happen. You just go online and you figure things out. And then of course, you need to balance the time spent with people, by yourself, working, working out, meditating, like your self-care and all that, which I feel like a lot of travelers, a lot of digital nomads struggle with, because either they travel too much, like there's so much to see, so they just spend days traveling, or they work too much, which I don't think is a great idea either. So, and then having some kind of a system I think is necessary. I mean, I can take my system, I can have a computer, I can have it by a beach in Thailand, I can have it here in KL, really anywhere, and I know I'm gonna get the same things done because the system has proven that it works anywhere.
Right, so you're the expert in productivity for digital nomads. So if you're interested in more about that, if that speaks to you, if that's something that you're challenging for you, then subscribe to David. He's got a YouTube channel. He's going to do a lot more helpful videos about this because you've done it, you've solved it, I've seen it. He's productive while he's traveling, he's getting things done, he's got the Aura ring on, he's managing his sleep, he's got the data, he's got the systems. So if you want to be someone who's actually high performing and able to achieve your potential while also achieving your dreams and traveling, this is the guy to do it. So link below, subscribe. On that topic, work-life balance is a term that comes up all the time, and it applies to the corporate environment. Okay, I've got to go to the office, I've got to do my personal stuff. You know, people want that work-life balance, but they also run into a problem when they're traveling, because you go traveling and then it goes the completely other way. You don't get any work done, and you just, every time see it as a holiday and you let yourself go. I mean, I've done this before where you just eat, you stop working out, you come back feeling worse than you left. So how do you balance it, your fitness, your mental, you're actually getting work done while also living the digital nomad lifestyle?
Great question. I think a lot of people have this limiting belief that you can't do it when you travel, which I disagree with. You can 100% do it. You just need to put a thought into it and have some system. So I say, yes, you can definitely travel, you can work, you can get your personal things in. For me, intermittent fasting, trying to eat clean, trying to work out, meditating, journaling, reflecting, all these things, I can 100% do it when I travel.
100%. And also the fitness part, that's something I struggled with. I want to stay fit and healthy while I'm traveling. And you can do it. You just have to change some of your beliefs. You don't have to go to the gym every day. Yes, that's your routine. Yes, it's good to have a routine, but also find something you can do wherever you are. So now I have a workout system I can get done in 30, 40 minutes wherever I am with just one band or even no equipment, and it's flexible and scalable. So that's what you need. Once you have that in place, then you have the confidence that you can do anything wherever you are. And I promise you, there's always a solution to the problem you're having, and maybe David can solve it in a future video. So subscribe, we hope to give you more value on that. All right, so comparing Asia to the West, do you think Asia is for everyone? Like, who is Asia for and who is it not for?
That's a good question, that's a hard question. Well, it is hot and humid. So if somebody really struggles in the heat, I think that could be a problem for them.
Fair.
But I used to struggle in the heat massively when I was a teenager, and I'm loving it here. I mean, yes, it is hot, it is humid, but so I think like that's not a reason not to come. Pretty easy to travel, it is safe. I think Asia can be for everyone.
It can be for everyone. So maybe it's just a matter of you finding the country that works for you, the culture that vibes with you. But yeah, I rate with the travel. So my mum came here, she struggled with the weather, and you know, it's not for her, and that's fine, because people have their beliefs and their culture, especially when you're older. So maybe that's another reason to do the travel and see these things while you're young, where you have a fresh mind and you can really take it on board and make the most of it, and then it might change the rest of your life, because
and it will.
It will. If you do it early, then you can take those learnings and apply it. Even if you go back to your home country, you've seen it, you can apply those things to your life, or you might choose to move here or travel here more. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
that's one thing I would like to say. I think a lot of people miss that when you travel, people think that you only, let's say you travel for a month, people think you only get the pros for that month, all the benefits in a month. No, you're gonna get the benefits in this month, and you're gonna get dividends for the future, because you learn something here, then you can take it to a different country, different setting, and then you can apply it there. Whether it's getting out of a comfort zone, having to figure out, you know, late flight, late bus, or cancel something, like, it translates 100% to the rest of your life. So don't forget about that.
Yeah, that's something I got from the book Die With Zero, talking about memory dividends and experience dividends. So you have these things, they don't just pay off at that moment. They do if you're living in the moment, you're enjoying it, but also you're learning from that and applies potentially to the rest of your life. And that compounds more and more when you have more experiences. So think of it as an investment, not saying blow all your money, but it's well worth it in tangible ways that maybe you can't measure traditionally.
Yes.
Yeah. Great insight. So what are your future plans, David? Inspire the people. What's coming next? And you know, you're 26 now, you've got your whole life ahead of you. What's next?
I want to keep doing what I've been doing. I genuinely love it, like every single day. So I want to keep traveling. I want to keep sharing what I learn. I want to develop my business about the productivity, about just helping people do more of what they want. So that's the plan, combining keep combining the work, the travel, myself, and the social, see more parts of the world. And next year I'm planning a huge, hopefully it's going to happen, journey in South America. So stay tuned in for that. But yeah, just want to keep traveling, keep seeing the world.
I'm super excited to see what you get next, and you've inspired me, and I'll be traveling a lot more too and showing you guys what it's like to live in other areas of the world, even maybe beyond Asia. So thanks, David, for coming on the channel.
My pleasure, man.
Subscribe to me for more about life in Malaysia and Asia, and we'll see you in the next one.